Fields once carved by sweat and steel are now conquered with machines so advanced they steer themselves, analyze every seed, and boast cabins quieter than luxury cars. This is not just modern farming. It is agriculture, powered by multi-million-dollar technology, where high-end engineering replaces entire work crews, and operators control 1,000 horsepower giants as effortlessly as tapping a touchscreen. But how did farm work become an arena for power, precision, and luxury that rivals supercar innovation? The answer lies in a story far more extraordinary than most realize. Raw power alone doesn't define these machines. Beneath their sculpted frames, the real story is told in the way power meets the ground. Today's flagship tractors and crawlers are engineered to transmit every bit of engine force with surgical precision, thanks to advanced drivetrains like the continuously variable transmission, called CVT. Unlike traditional gearboxes, CVT systems deliver seamless acceleration and keep massive implements moving at the exact speed needed. No lurches, no wasted fuel. In the field, that means a 700 horsepower tractor can pull a 60-foot air seeder through heavy clay without breaking stride, while the engine and transmission work in perfect sync to balance traction and efficiency. Control is everything. Modern hydraulic systems pump up to 400 liters per minute, providing the raw force to lift, steer, and fold implements that would dwarf an entire work crew. Each hydraulic circuit operates independently, so a single operator can fine-tune every movement from the seat, adjusting a cultivator's depth, folding a boom, or raising a planter, all with the touch of a button. This level of control isn't just about convenience. It is the difference between covering hundreds of acres in a day or losing precious hours to breakdowns and manual adjustments. Traction is another frontier where luxury meets necessity. Heavy machinery used to leave deep scars in the soil, compacting earth and reducing yields for years to come. Now articulated frames, suspended axles, and low-pressure tracks spread weight evenly, protecting the ground beneath. The Case IH quad track runs on 4 independent tracks that grip the field with minimal compaction, letting farmers work earlier after rain or on softer ground. Fence variodrive system takes it further, automatically shifting torque between axles and wheels to prevent slippage, even on slopes or in mud. Suspension once reserved for race cars has found its way into the fields. Cab and axle suspension absorb shocks from rough terrain, keeping the operator steady and the machine's power planted firmly. Tire technology has advanced too. Wide flexible sidewalls and variable inflation systems adjust to field conditions on the fly, maximizing grip while minimizing soil disturbance. It is this marriage of brute force and delicate engineering that sets these machines apart. Every pass is a display of controlled power, where massive implements glide over the land, driven by transmissions and hydraulics that respond in milliseconds. In the world of luxury farming, the ground itself becomes a partner, not an obstacle, a canvas shaped by technology that respects both the crop and the soil. Inside the cabin, every detail is engineered for the operator's command and comfort. Wide, tinted glass wraps around a workspace that feels closer to an executive cockpit than a traditional tractor seat. Touchscreen displays arc across the dash, offering live maps, implement controls, and performance data with a tap or a swipe. The air suspension seat adjusts in every direction, floating over rough ground, while lumbar support and heated cushions keep fatigue at bay through long harvest nights. Noise, once an unavoidable part of farm work, is now tamed by advanced insulation and acoustic glass, creating a new level of quiet. Modern cabs cut sound levels by more than 10 decibels compared to models from the 1990s. That means engine rumble and hydraulic hiss fade into a low background, letting operators focus on the job or even take calls through integrated Bluetooth. Automatic climate systems maintain a steady temperature, filtering dust and pollen from the air. Panoramic visibility and 360-degree camera feeds eliminate blind spots, even when working late or in tight headlands. At the heart of the cabin, the main touchscreen becomes a digital command center. Here, operators can monitor real-time field data, adjust implement settings, or set up auto-steer guidance, all from a single interface. With isobus compatibility, the system recognizes connected implements and brings up their controls instantly, no matter the brand. An OEM engineer describes the philosophy. We wanted to create an environment where a single operator could manage an entire field with the same ease as driving a luxury car, intuitive, responsive, and comfortable for 12 hours or more. Armrest joysticks and multi-function dials put hydraulic controls, transmission modes, and even headland automation at the operator's fingertips. LED lighting packages turn night into day, while USB ports, refrigerators, and cup holders anticipate the needs of a long shift. The cabin becomes a mobile office, a rest zone, and a control tower, where every major system is accessible without ever leaving the seat. This focus on the human interface is what redefines luxury in farm machinery. It is not about leather trim or chrome accents, but about giving the operator full control, maximum comfort, and seamless connection to the machine's intelligence. As autonomy features become more advanced, the cabin is evolving again, ready for a future where the operator becomes a supervisor, overseeing fleets of machines from a single, high-tech command post. Rows of vines stretch across the hillside as a fleet of compact orange tractors glides between them, no drivers in sight. These are specialty autonomous tractors, engineered for the unique demands of vineyards and orchards. Each machine relies on a sophisticated stack of sensors, high-resolution cameras, radar, LiDAR, and GPS modules working together to track every row, detect obstacles, and keep the tractor precisely on course. The result is centimeter-level accuracy, even on winding paths and steep grades. In Napa Valley, one of the world's most valuable wine regions, a major grower has deployed a group of these autonomous units for routine spraying and mowing. The shift is not about raw speed, but endurance and consistency. While a traditional tractor and operator might cover a set number of rows before fatigue sets in or daylight fades, these machines keep working through the night, guided by onboard AI and remote supervision. The lead engineer overseeing the system monitors every unit from a digital dashboard, watching as the machines relay live data on position, speed, and task progress. If an obstacle appears, a stray irrigation hose, or a deer crossing the lane, the tractor pauses, alerts the supervisor, and waits for confirmation before resuming its route. The impact on productivity is striking. With autonomous operation, the vineyard now completes routine spraying and mowing tasks in a fraction of the time required by manual crews. Extended operating hours and the ability to run multiple machines in parallel mean that what once took days can be finished overnight. Operators, once confined to long hours in the cab, now oversee entire fleets from a central office, responding only when human intervention is truly needed. This decouples labor from machine hours, allowing skilled staff to focus on higher value work, crop scouting, maintenance, and quality control, while the autonomous tractors handle the repetitive, physically demanding passes. Productivity has been fundamentally redefined. Sensor fusion is the backbone of this transformation. Each tractor constantly processes data from its surroundings, adjusting speed and steering to match terrain and crop density. In tight vineyard rows, the system maintains an unwavering path, reducing accidental plant damage and over-application of chemicals. The AI learns from every pass, refining its routes and responses to obstacles over time. This level of precision and consistency delivers not just efficiency, but improved crop health and yield. Across specialty crop operations, the promise of autonomy is clear: more acres covered per day, fewer labor bottlenecks, and operations that run around the clock. For growers facing labor shortages and rising costs, these self-driving workhorses are more than a technological upgrade. They are a fundamental change in how agriculture is managed, measured, and scaled. Autonomy is changing the scale of what is possible. Precision planting has become a science of its own, led by machines that treat every seed as a separate investment. This is precision at the seed level. Variable rate planters, equipped with electric row drives, use prescription maps and real-time sensor feedback to adjust seeding rates on the fly. Instead of blanketing a field with a fixed number of seeds per acre, these systems plant more densely in high-potential zones and thin out where soil or moisture is limited. Each row unit operates independently, shutting off automatically at boundaries or overlaps, a feature that eliminates double planting and saves thousands of dollars in seed costs each season. An agronomist walks the field after emergence, checking stand uniformity. The difference is visible: each plant spaced precisely, every row even, with no wasted seed in headlands or awkward corners. This level of control translates directly to crop performance. Uniformity means less competition among plants and more predictable yields at harvest. The system's high-speed capability allows planting at up to 10 miles per hour without sacrificing accuracy, thanks to advanced metering and downforce sensors that maintain perfect seed depth even as ground conditions change. On the monitor inside the cab, A live map displays which zones are receiving higher or lower seed rates, color-coded in real time. As the planter moves through the prescription, the electric drives adjust instantly, responding to both preloaded field data and live sensor input. Per-row shutoff is especially valuable in fields with odd shapes or point rows, where traditional planters would waste seed and create uneven stands. The result is a field with nearly perfect singulation, each seed placed at the right depth and distance. No skips, no doubles. Variable rate technology extends beyond seed. Many planters now integrate liquid or dry fertilizer application, metering nutrients precisely as they go. The same electric drives that control seed can adjust fertilizer rates by row, matching plant needs and reducing input waste. This data-driven approach creates a feedback loop. Yield maps from last year's harvest become the prescription for this year's planting, continually refining the process with each season. The payoff is clear in both the field and the ledger. Growers report seed savings of up to 10% on irregular fields and yield bumps that would have been impossible with fixed-rate planting. More importantly, the uniformity achieved by these luxury planters sets the stage for every step that follows, making the entire operation more efficient and more profitable. Seed-level control is no longer an aspiration. It is the new standard for high-performance agriculture. Inside the grain tank, a network of sensors tracks every kernel as it moves through the combine. Modern harvesters, like the New Holland CX 890 PLM, I turn grain flow into a real-time data stream, measuring yield and moisture as the crop passes from header to auger. At the heart of these machines, auto-tuning systems continuously adjust rotor speed, fan intensity, and sieve openings, responding in milliseconds to changing crop conditions. When a thick patch of wheat hits the rotor, the combine senses the increased load and instantly widens the sieves or boosts fan speed to keep grain clean and losses low. No operator intervention required. Every adjustment is logged and mapped to its exact location in the field. On the touchscreen in the cab, live yield maps bloom in color, showing where the crop is outperforming or lagging. This is not just for show. The data captured during harvest feeds directly into next season's planting prescriptions, closing the precision loop between seed and grain. Operators can see in real time how planting decisions made months earlier are translating into yield on the ground. The intelligence behind these combines goes beyond simple automation. Sieve and rotor settings are no longer fixed for the day. They shift constantly, guided by sensor feedback and predictive algorithms. If grain moisture rises as a storm front approaches, the combine adapts, tightening thresholds to protect quality and avoid dockage at the elevator. During long harvest nights, LED lights illuminate the field, while infrared cameras monitor grain flow, ensuring nothing is missed in the dark. Multiple combines can now share data wirelessly across the field. Systems like IntelliField coordinate routes and unloading, preventing overlap and keeping the harvest moving at maximum efficiency. Each machine becomes part of a synchronized fleet, guided by satellite signals and cloud-based management platforms. The result is a harvest that is not just fast, but optimized. Every kernel tracked, every decision recorded, every pass improving the next. Yield mapping has become the backbone of modern farm management. The real luxury is the ability to transform raw crop flow into actionable insight, all while moving through hundreds of acres at a pace that would have been unthinkable a generation ago. With every revolution of the rotor and every sweep of the header, these smart combines turn fields into living datasets, setting a new standard for what is possible in agriculture. A new breed of forage harvester is rewriting the limits of what a single machine can accomplish. The KILAS Jaguar 1000 series, with engines pushing past 1,100 horsepower, stands at the forefront of this surge in capacity. Its cutter head has been stretched to a massive 36 inches, taking in swaths of crop wider and heavier than previous generations could manage, and feeding a throughput that rivals entire fleets of legacy units. In the field, these machines devour dense stands of barley and triticale at a pace that once demanded a convoy of smaller harvesters, their engines and feed rollers working in perfect concert to move tons of material every minute. The leap in power is not just about speed, it is about handling volume without compromise. As the crop pours in, advanced crop flow controls and automated kernel processors work behind the scenes. CNH's Forage Cam, for example, mounts a camera at the spout to analyze chopped material in real time, using artificial intelligence to adjust kernel processing on the fly. The result is livestock feed with precisely tuned digestibility, every load measured and mapped for quality. Where older machines required constant operator judgment and frequent stops for adjustment, today's flagships deliver consistent, high-quality silage at full throttle, round the clock. Balers have scaled up in step with the harvesters that feed them. High-density square balers now pack more crop per stroke, driven by hydraulic systems that keep plunger speed and chamber pressure steady, even as the windrow thickens or the crop changes. On large dairy and cattle operations, a single baler can produce hundreds of uniform, tightly packed bales each day, each one tracked by onboard sensors for weight and moisture. Automation manages twine tension and bale ejection, so the operator focuses on field coverage and machine health, not manual adjustments. This is modern efficiency at work. This level of throughput transforms the economics of forage. Where a dozen smaller machines once labored through long days, a single 1,000 horsepower harvester paired with a high-capacity baler covers the same ground in a fraction of the time. The scale is staggering. On the largest operations, a flagship harvester can process over 400 tons of forage in a single shift. For farms racing against weather or managing tight harvest windows, this surge in capacity is not just impressive, it is essential. The modern forage fleet is a study in muscular efficiency, where every component is engineered to keep pace with the relentless demands of high-output agriculture. A single pass with a modern sprayer can stretch across 100 feet of crop, yet not a drop is wasted. Precision spraying has become an exact science, driven by boom systems that sense and respond to the field in real time. Each nozzle along the boom operates independently, opening or closing in milliseconds as the sprayer travels over mapped prescription zones. This technology means chemicals are delivered only where needed. No more blanket applications, no more costly overlaps. The benefit is twofold: input savings for the farm and a lighter footprint on the environment. On a 100-foot boom, the system can skip individual sections or even single plants, guided by GPS and field data. Ultrasonic sensors keep the boom at a perfect height above the crop, even as the ground rises and falls beneath. Onboard computers monitor wind, speed, and droplet size, adjusting spray patterns to prevent drift and maximize coverage. In fields with irregular boundaries or headlands, the system's section control ensures that every corner is treated with surgical accuracy, reducing chemical use by up to 15% compared to older machines. For the operator, the process is nearly effortless. Set the prescription, monitor from the cab, and let the machine handle the rest. The result is a cleaner field, lower costs, and a new standard for stewardship, where every drop counts and every pass is a calculated move toward efficiency. In the spaces between the giants, a new generation of small, smart machines is quietly transforming the landscape. These are autonomous scouts and micro-robots, built to handle the work that once demanded hours of human attention. Compact NDVI scout drones sweep over the fields, capturing multispectral images that reveal plant health in real time. Their sensors detect subtle differences in chlorophyll, mapping out stress zones and nutrient gaps before they are visible to the naked eye. The data streams instantly to the farm's digital nerve center, where it shapes every decision that follows, from fertilizer rates to targeted irrigation. On the ground, transformer robots patrol the rows. These autonomous units adjust their width and tool sets on the fly, switching from weeding to soil sampling without human intervention. Their articulated frames and all-terrain wheels let them slip between crops, working day and night alongside the big rigs. Each robot navigates with a blend of GPS, LiDAR, and machine vision, staying on course even as field conditions shift. They operate in coordinated patterns, sharing telemetry data to avoid overlap and maximize coverage. The result is a swarm-like efficiency, where dozens of small helpers can cover more ground than a single large machine, each one fine-tuning its actions to the needs of the moment. Safety remains paramount. The autonomous systems lead notes that every robot is equipped with redundant sensors and emergency stop protocols, ensuring reliable operation even in complex environments. These micro-scale platforms do not just automate repetitive tasks, they elevate precision to a new level, gathering data and performing interventions with a delicacy that heavy equipment cannot match. As fleets of drones and robots become standard on high-tech farms, the vision of coordinated intelligent swarms working in harmony with larger machines moves from science fiction to reality. Dozens of machines now move as one, each tracked and managed by a digital fleet command center that never sleeps. At the core of this system is telematics, and every loader, tractor, and harvester streams live data to the cloud, reporting location, fuel level, engine hours, and even minor sensor alerts. Fleet managers monitor these dashboards from anywhere, watching icons glide across digital field maps in real time. If a loader's hydraulic pressure drops or a combine's grain tank nears full, the system sends instant notifications, prompting swift action before downtime can creep in. Remote diagnostics let technicians access engine codes and performance stats without setting foot in the field, cutting response times from hours to minutes. Over-the-air updates keep software current, rolling out new features or bug fixes to every machine in the fleet overnight. This digital oversight transforms uptime. Instead of waiting for breakdowns, predictive analytics flag emerging issues, scheduling maintenance before a single bolt loosens. Operators focus on the work at hand, while the fleet as a whole is orchestrated for maximum efficiency. Each loader's productivity, every machine's health, and the entire operation's progress are visible at a glance. In this connected ecosystem, machines no longer operate in isolation. They become nodes in a living network, coordinated and optimized by intelligence that spans the entire farm. A new generation of farm machines is rewriting the rules of power, this time with cleaner fuel and silent electric drive. In the heart of Europe, a methane-powered tractor idles next to its diesel twin, both ready for a full day's work. The difference is not in the horsepower or torque, but in what flows through the fuel lines. Methane captured from on-farm biogas systems transforms waste into energy, turning slurry and crop residues into a steady supply of compressed biomethane. When burned in a spark ignition engine, it delivers the same pull as diesel, but with a lighter footprint and a thinner fuel bill. Field trials and manufacturer data show that when farms produce their own biomethane, fuel costs can drop by as much as 30% compared to diesel, an advantage built on the economics of cheaper energy, not magic engines. The savings multiply when diesel prices rise, or when governments reward low-emission fuels with tax breaks or credits. The environmental payoff is just as real. Biomethane from manure and crop waste can shrink a tractor's carbon footprint by more than half, especially when methane that would otherwise escape to the atmosphere is captured and burned cleanly. Local air improves too, with lower particulate and soot emissions and less engine noise rumbling across the fields. The catch is this: these benefits depend on a closed-loop system, biogas produced and used on the same farm. When methane is bought on the open market, or when fossil gas replaces true biogas, the cost advantage narrows and the climate gains shrink. Electrification is gaining ground as well. Prototype battery electric tractors now handle routine work on fruit farms, vineyards, and research fields, where quiet operation, instant torque, and zero on-site emissions are prized. These machines glide through rows with a hum instead of a roar, often packing enough battery to run a full shift before returning to charge. The challenge is battery density. Storing enough energy for heavy tillage or long days in broad-acre fields remains a hurdle. But for lighter tasks, electric drives are already practical. Some models even integrate with on-farm solar or wind, creating a renewable loop from sunlight to soil. Alternative fuels and electrification are no longer distant dreams. They are active research and early adoption tracks for global manufacturers. Each new machine tested in the field adds data, refines the technology, and brings the future closer. For operators, the promise is clear: lower fuel costs, cleaner air, and the ability to meet strict sustainability targets without sacrificing performance. In the push for cleaner power, the next leap in luxury is not about more chrome or horsepower. It is about machines that work smarter, cost less to run, and leave the land better than they found it. A new intelligence is emerging in the fields, one that doesn't belong to a single machine, but to a network. Fleets of autonomous robots now move in formation across vast acreages, each unit tuned to a specific role and linked by real-time data. On a broad-acre grain farm in Australia, a dozen swarm bots glide side by side, each carrying a different implement. One sprays herbicide with pinpoint accuracy, another mows cover crops, while a third scouts for pests. These robots coordinate their paths, divide the field into zones, and work through the night without pause. Telematics and RTK-GPS keep every move precise, while a single operator monitors their progress from a tablet, stepping in only if an alert flashes for a refill or a maintenance check. In Europe, vegetable growers deploy fleets of Nio robots, Dino and Oreo, each designed to weed, hoe, or map rows of lettuce and carrots. Instead of relying on a handful of large tractors, these farms now run multiple robots in parallel, covering more ground than ever before. The robots' articulated frames and vision-guided navigation let them weave between tight rows, while their shared data streams feed into a central dashboard. Every plant's location, every weed pulled, every pass completed is logged and analyzed, building a living map of the field that grows smarter with each season. This systemic approach is not limited to a single crop or continent. In the UK, the Tom, Dick, and Harry robot team works in sequence. Tom scouts and maps the field. Dick targets weeds with surgical precision. Harry plants seeds at variable depths and rates, all guided by a shared digital blueprint. Each robot's actions inform the next, creating a closed loop of observation, action, and feedback that optimizes every square meter of land. What once took crews of workers and fleets of tractors now happens with a handful of machines, each running on electric or low-emission power, each communicating wirelessly, each adapting in real time. Data from drones, ground sensors, and weather stations feed into the same system, allowing the farm to react instantly to changing conditions. The pace of adoption is accelerating. Swarm farm robots alone have covered more than 4 million acres, with commercial growers reporting up to 90% reductions in herbicide use and dramatic cuts in labor costs. As new platforms roll out, the vision of a fully coordinated, multi-function fleet is no longer a distant dream. The farm becomes an ecosystem of intelligence, machines, sensors, and software working together, anticipating needs, and delivering results that once seemed impossible. This is systemic intelligence, agriculture scaled by networks, not just horsepower, and driven by the promise that every task, every pass, every plant can be managed with precision beyond human reach. Right now, 80% of the world's food supply depends on fewer than 40 million large-scale farmers. Their ability to meet demand hinges on technology that never sleeps. As global populations rise and arable land shrinks, these machines are not just about comfort or speed. They are the new lifeline for feeding billions. Tomorrow's harvest depends on innovation today. What do you think? Will technology keep pace with hunger? Share your thoughts below.